In this video, we're going to go over the 6 anger styles. Briefly, why you have this anger style, what you can do to fix it. So what's your anger style? Let's find out. We all have anger. We all don't express it in the same way. So with all those little frustrations, that's what turns into anger. So how do you express even the lower parts of your anger style? Style number 1 is explosive anger. When you take all those little irritations and the big irritations and you continue to shove them down and shove them down and shove them down. And it takes a lot to get you angry. But as it builds up and that anger and frustration is not dealt with, you explode. And when you do, you amplify those irritations. So it's more dramatized. You feel it's a lot worse than that particular moment was. Why? Because you've been shoving it down and shoving it down and shoving it down. Has to come out sometime. The reason for this is either we're not sure how to express our anger in one way or another, or we never learned how to deal with anger properly. One way to help deal with this, write it down, 40 words or less. Try to put what's irritating you, what's making you angry on paper. Read it. Try to articulate that to someone else, to the person that is making you angry. Little pieces at a time will go a long way. It'll keep your head from exploding. Because when you bottle things up, there's nowhere else for it to go. Style number 2. Passive-aggressive anger. This is when we take what we're really angry at and put it towards something completely different. This leaves the people extremely confused. Are you angry at this that I did over here, or are you angry at I didn't pick up my shoes? Leaves them confused, leaves them wondering. Are you angry at this and this, or angry at this and not this? And they don't know how to respond to that. So therefore, write it down. Learn to get those words out. Because why we do it is because we don't like conflict. And anytime we don't like conflict, the best way to deal with that, write it down. Few words. Learn how to express that to someone else, the actual reason why you're angry. Do that before you become bitter. Because the more you shove that down and throw off that anger on something completely different, the more you become bitter. And it will be a whole lot harder to get to the bottom of it later on. And in most of these anger styles, it is the case. Write it down. Get a mediator if you have to help you discuss that with the other person. Because a lot of these anger styles, if you have one I haven't mentioned yet, and you have an explosive, say you have a sarcastic and an explosive. If they're being sarcastic, that one's liable to explode. You need the communication. And if you struggle with the communication, that's why I say write it down. Read it out. Try to make it understandable for someone else. And if you're still having difficulty, get a mediator to help you with that. I do have more tips that help out with a lot of these styles. I'll put that linked up here. So back to it. Anger style number 3 is self-verbal abuse. It is when you either completely blame someone else. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Or it gets turned around. It's all my fault. It's always all my fault. It's just fine. It's my fault. We do this because we can't take any more disappointments. So instead of disappointing someone else, we pull that or push that on ourselves. This generally stems from another time when you weren't the guilty party or 100% guilty party, and you tried to express it and the other person shut you down and blamed you for everything and continued to blame you for everything. The best way to fix this is like most anger issues. You have to get to the bottom of those issues and learn self-esteem. Lift up your self-esteem. Learn what the true responsibility of this is. And once you learn the responsibility, in many ways, it could be shared responsibility. Because it's not all your fault, or it's not all someone else's fault. You have to be able to look inside and at the situation and find out who is really responsible for what. So build your self-esteem and quit blaming yourself, especially if it's not your fault or all your fault. The best way to do this, take yourself out of the situation and look back in it as the viewer. Because sometimes we're a little too close to the situation to see what's right in front of us. Style number 4, the avoidance anger. I'm fine. I don't want to talk about it. I don't like conflict. These are the things that they say to avoid the conflict, or to avoid expressing their anger. This happens because you feel like you're losing a connection with them, or you're losing your reputation. So you never bring it up or have ever approached them about it. Best way to fix this, encourage the resolution. Step outside of yourself, outside of the way you think they feel about you. Challenge yourself. Let go of the fears. So don't avoid it. Learn how to communicate your frustrations with these people. With all these, you need to make sure you have all the information. Don't let anger control you. You need to control it. So far, if you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, ring that bell notification. Anger style number 5, sarcastic anger. This is done to avoid the raw anger, because we were taught it's rude to confront someone. So those people who were taught this tend to come out with sarcastic anger, or they find a way to make it a joke, or, funny sarcasm, to avoid being rude. What they don't understand is, with this style anger, it would be better for the majority of people to just let it out, because that in turn angers others. It frustrates others, and it changes a lot of relationships. So this one is one of the very worst ones. Here's a little notation. The Greek word for sarcasm means tearing flesh like dogs. That will tell you it's like tearing flesh. The fix with this one, you're really going to have to learn how to just be direct and tell them exactly what is making you angry. Don't cover it up with sarcasm, a joke. Be direct, be honest, and tell them in a firm, assertive manner. Style number 6, habitual anger. Those of us who have that anger style are angry at everything. Any time of day, all day, anything. And why? Because we feel that everything is an issue. Now, the true fix for this is definitely the link here. You do all of these in this link, it will turn that anger completely around. I promise you. You stick to it, it will change your life. And you will no longer be in that habitual anger stage or style. So, change your story. Change your life. Why? Because we feel everything is an issue. The fix to this is definitely that video I linked earlier. That will be at the end as well. You can change all of it. Find your purpose. Find your passion. Do a few other things that's in that video. Be consistent. And your life, your anger will dissipate. Your life will become happy. So set yourself free from this anger. And if anything resonated with any of you today in this video, hit the like, subscribe, ring that bell notification. So the next time I upload a video, you'll be notified. Because I am committed to being here to help you ride the healing waves to your best life.